It's time to stop guessing who's worth your money. I've built a game-changing tool that breaks down advanced stats into one clear number. Welcome to Vanguard. Hey everyone, Jay here from Drip Zone, and today marks the official launch of something I've been building behind the scenes for months. It's called the Vanguard system, a custom scoring model I've designed, tested, and used to completely reshape how I collect. I've had a lot of success with this system, and it's really helped me make better decisions when deciding on which prospects to buy. Before this, I relied on MLB.com prospect lists, watching spring training, news articles, and gut instinct. Then came the avalanche of stats, endless numbers with no clear focus. With so many prospects to track, who has the time to dig through it all? The thrill of the hunt is what makes prospecting fun. But no matter your budget, keeping an eye on value matters. Whether you're building a personal collection, flipping cards, or just chasing what you love, smart spending makes the difference. Vanguard is unique because it was custom built to scout for hobby value potential, not just good baseball players. That's a critical distinction between traditional scouting and what I call hobby scouting. Traditional scouting is built for front offices, focused on long-term Major League Baseball success, putting equal value in metrics like walk rate, zone contact, and FWAR. All smart if you're running a team. Although all stats are valuable in their own way, the hobby tends to favor certain stats over others. Vanguard uses a weighted scoring algorithm of advanced player stats and downplays the quiet skills that make a player fundamentally solid while boosting the flashy signals that drive real card value. Prospect stats are messy, scattered, and often misleading. Vanguard cuts through the noise and delivers one single number: the player's Vanguard score, mapped into one of 8 color-coded tiers inspired by Bowman's parallels on a scale from 0 to a max score of 5.0. A superfractor is a Vanguard prospect, a player with rare talent and skills, everything aligned for maximal hobby value potential. A red is an elite prospect with monster upside and strong near-term value potential. An orange, an impact prospect with metrics to back it up, progressing well through the minors, well above average. A gold is a promising prospect with breakout potential. A green is an organizational prospect and likely MLB contributor and has a good chance of a call-up but has some more growth needed. A blue is a player still developing and worth watching if the player is still young. The Vanguard score is age adjusted, so it does account for that. A purple, a fringe prospect with some talent but missing age, buzz, or ceiling. And then there's fading or bust. So let's get into it. And before I do, please remember that these evaluations are my own opinions and is meant to be one of many tools that can help to provide you prospecting information. Always do your own research, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments on what you agree with and what you disagree with. So with that in mind, here are the top prospects in the 2025 Bowman set, ranked by the Vanguard score. J.J. Wetherholt was already known in college baseball circles, a first-round pick out of West Virginia and one of the best pure hitters in the 2024 draft class. He tore up NCAA pitching with a hit tool that scouts consistently rated among the best in the country. Now 22, Wetherholt's transition to pro ball is off to an absolutely sizzling start. He progressed quickly through the Cardinals system, and through his first 76 plate appearances in AAA, he's batting .344 with a .754 slugging percentage and WRC plus of 193. That's nearly double the league average offensive output. And when we run the numbers through the Vanguard model, the result is staggering, a perfect 5.0 Vanguard score, putting him at the absolute peak of our superfractor tier. What's driving it? Start with a ridiculous 410 ISO, a BBK ratio of 1.13, and a strikeout rate of just 11%, nearly half the league norm. He's crushing the ball with a 35.3 home run to fly ball rate, showing elite bat speed and barrel control. Add in solid walk numbers, a premium premium middle infield positional value, and the model sees a polished MLB-ready profile. That said, it's only 76 plate appearances in AAA, and as always, small samples can lie, but players don't just exactly luck into Vanguard scores that high, and this is exactly the kind of early signal you want to see from a top pick. JJ Wetherholt isn't just performing, he is absolutely dominating. Richard Matic is a name Yankees fans should start learning now. Signed out of the Dominican Republic in the 2024 international free agent class, Matic came in with a solid $850,000 bonus, and early scouting notes pegged him as a high-contact hitter with power upside and a chance to stick at third base. At just 18 years old, he's already showing why the Yankees were interested. After a rocky start in the DSL in 2024, he bounced back huge in 2025, batting .370 with a .606 slugging and a 1.08 OPS over his first 120 plate appearances. That's elite production for an 18-year-old. But what really sets Matic apart is what the data reveals beneath the surface. According to our Vanguard model, he earns a Vanguard score of 4.48 in the red elite prospect tier. That's not just hype, that's driven by real numbers. His WRC plus of 178 shows he's producing offense at nearly double the league average. His 236 ISO confirms he's hitting for legit power, not just blooping singles. But where he really shines, plate discipline. His walk rate is an impressive 19.8%, and his BBK ratio of 0.83 is more than double the league norm, a rare trait in teenage hitters. Throw in a strong home run to fly ball rate and a premium third base positional value, and this is a data-backed breakout. Richard Matic isn't just on the radar, he's about to light it up. He is firmly on my radar, and we will see if Matic remains consistent when called up through the system. Jhostynxon Garcia, nicknamed the Password, is starting to get serious name recognition. Now firmly planted in the Boston Red Sox farm system as their #2 prospect, the 22-year-old outfielder has delivered a 2025 campaign that is impossible to ignore. Across AA Portland and AAA Worcester, he's slashing .275 with over 12 home runs and 40 RBI, earning a spot in the MLB All-Stars feature game. That rise follows a breakout 2024 season where he hit 23 homers across 3 levels, enough to get him added to Boston's 40-man roster. When plugged into our Vanguard model, Garcia posts 3.93, placing him in the orange impact prospect tier, signaling legitimate upside and steady growth. His 282 ISO and 28.8% home run to fly ball rate confirm true extra base power, while his 305 average and 148 WRC plus show consistent run creation despite aggressive approaches. That said, his 27.1% strikeout rate is something to refine, and his BBK ratio of just 0.34 suggests there's room to tighten his approach, though a 9.2% walk rate indicates emerging patience. Beyond the stats, Garcia's rise has come with high praise. I've even read that Boston plans to get him reps at first base in AAA Worcester as they juggle a crowded Red Sox outfield situation, a move that could help him stay on the roster long-term. Eduardo Quintero is quickly emerging as one of the more advanced teenage bats in the minors. At just 19 years old, he's already logged time in both low A and high A in 2025, and he's doing a lot more than just holding his own. Across both levels combined, Quintero is slashing .304 with a .519 slugging percentage and a .157 WRC plus, meaning he's producing over 50% better than the league average. He's not just making noise, he is earning attention. When we run his full season numbers through the Vanguard model, Quintero scores a 3.91, placing him firmly in the orange impact prospect tier. That's a big deal for a teenager playing against older competition. His 214 ISO shows real pop in the bat, and he's pairing that with a very mature 16.1% walk rate. His BBK ratio of 0.72 is extremely strong for someone this young, especially given his strikeout rate is basically league average. Quintero is not hitting bombs consistently quite yet. His home run to fly ball rate sits at 8.3%, which suggests his power is mostly gap to gap for now. But with age, added strength, and better pitch selection, that could grow. The Vanguard model blends both levels to avoid small sample noise and still gives him a near elite rating. At 19, putting up these kinds of numbers and drawing walks like a pro, Eduardo Quintero is absolutely a name to watch. Kevin McGonigle is one of the Tigers' top infield prospects and a name I've been watching very closely. Drafted out of high school in 2023, he's a 20-year-old left-handed bat with a disciplined approach and smooth actions at the plate. His high A numbers in early 2025 turned heads, so much so that his Vanguard score in that stretch landed in the Superfractor tier, one of our rarest classification for elite performance. He earned a quick promotion to AA, where like many young hitters, he initially stumbled, but recently he's been flashing signs that he's adjusting and settling in. Right now, his overall Vanguard score sits at 3.82 in the orange impact prospect tier, which is still outstanding, especially considering the level of competition. His 274 average and 484 slugging and 146 WRC plus show he's still producing well above league average. What makes McGonigle so intriguing analytically is his discipline profile: a 12.5% walk rate, 15.3% strikeout rate, and BBK ratio of 0.82. That's elite polish for a 20-year-old facing older pitchers. His ISO of 210 shows consistent gap power, even if the home run to fly ball rate of 8.3% suggests his over-the-fence power is still maturing. Bottom line, while he's no longer in that red-hot superfractor zone he posted at low A, a 3.82 Vanguard score tells us McGonigle's floor is high, and the rebound signs in AA are real. This is the kind of player you stay patient with. He's tracking as a future big league contributor, and he's trending back up quickly. If you're liking what you're seeing so far, go ahead and hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. It really motivates me to keep creating new content. Also, turn on notifications so you'll know the moment I drop my 2024 Bowman Draft Prospect Evaluation video. That one's going to feature some big names, including Konnor Griffin, who was in that Bowman Sets checklist. And of course, look forward to the 2025 Bowman Chrome and 2025 Bowman Draft Prospect Evaluations coming as soon as those checklists are released. And while you're at it, feel free to leave me a comment with suggestions for the kind of videos you'd like to see next. I always love hearing your ideas. All right, let's get back into it. Jhonny Level is one of those under-the-radar names who might not be making headlines just yet, but the numbers suggest that might not last much longer. Just 18 years old, Level opened eyes in the Complex League and was recently promoted to Low A, where he's had a brief 21 plate appearance sample. But when you combine his Complex League and Low A numbers, he's already showing legit skills. A 281 average, 477 slugging, and a WRC plus of 118, meaning he's producing about 18% better than the league average as a teenager facing pro pitching. He may not have the flashiest stat line yet, but the model filters out hype and looks at repeatable traits, and Level checks a lot of boxes. This is a player quietly building real momentum, and at just 18 years old, he's trending hard in the right direction. Luis Pena is a name quickly rising in the hobby, and for good reason. The 18-year-old Dominican shortstop has quietly put together one of the most impressive DSL seasons of the year for the Milwaukee Brewers. Through 41 games, he's hitting .307 with an .859 OPS, but the real story goes deeper. His plate discipline is exceptional for his age, an 8.9% walk rate and a tiny 13.4% strikeout rate. That's the kind of zone control you expect from a polished minor league veteran, not a teenager. And while he's still growing into his power, a 470 slugging percentage and a 163 ISO show that the thump is already starting to show up in games. He's not exactly flying under the radar anymore. Collectors are starting to take notice. Pena's Vanguard score comes in at 3.67, placing him firmly in the gold promising prospect tier. The foundation of that score? Elite contact skills and discipline. His 0.66 BBK ratio is among the best you'll see at his level and significantly boosts his profile. Add in a WRC plus of 139, well above the league average, plus a positional boost for his shortstop role, and you have a player whose offensive toolkit projects very well as he matures. If this production translates when he is called up through the system, Pena could emerge as a high OBP, moderate power middle infielder with sneaky upside, and he's already building a following in prospecting circles. PJ Morlando is one of the more intriguing young hitters in the minors right now. At 20 years old, the left-handed hitting outfielder brings a rare blend of patience and power projection. Drafted for his bat, Morlando already shows an advanced feel for the strike zone, with a knack for drawing walks and punishing mistakes. The batting average isn't quite quite eye-popping yet, but the quality of his contact, especially to the pull side, hints at a future impact power. For now, it's about refining his approach against better pitching, but with continued growth, he could be knocking on the top 100 list in the near future and be on track for a promotion to high A very soon. The data backs up the hype. His WRC plus is 124, 24% better than the league average, and he's walking at a huge 17.4% clip, more than double the norm. That drives the BBK ratio into an impressive 0.63, a clear sign of zone control. His ISO sits at 135, but paired with a 23.5% home run to fly ball rate, it shows the power is already there when he makes contact. His 234 average is more a reflection of his age versus level than any red flag. Add it all together and you get a 3.59 Vanguard score, solidly in the gold tier, meaning his underlying skills and production profile match those of hitters who go on to succeed at higher levels. Khadim Diaw is quietly putting together one of the more polished hitting profiles in the lower minors. The 21-year-old infielder has been a steady performer throughout 2025, slashing .302 with a .431 slugging percentage and putting up 158 WRC plus. While he's not a headline grabber yet, the bat-to-ball skills and disciplined approach are starting to turn heads. The Vanguard model likes players who control at-bats, and Diaw does just that. If he adds even modest power as he physically matures, his floor could rise fast. For now, the Vanguard system labels him a promising prospect, but in real-world terms, he's one solid adjustment away from a breakout. When we run Diaw through the Vanguard model, he scores a 3.57, landing in the gold promising prospect tier. That tells us he's got the foundation of a contributor, even if the highlight reel metrics aren't quite there yet. His 129 ISO suggests he's more of a contact over power guy for now, and his home run to fly ball rate of 9.1% supports that. But don't be fooled, the plate skills are sharp. A 12.3% walk rate, a K rate under 17%, and a BBK ratio of 0.73 all point to a mature hitter with a plan. Hayden Alvarez was one of the Angels' top international signings in 2024, earning a huge $685,000 bonus, the second highest in that class. The athletic 18-year-old outfielder from the Dominican Republic wasted no time impressing. He parlayed advanced speed and compact swing into a standout Arizona Complex League debut, where he posted elite plate discipline and flashed plus tools all around. Scouting grades already list all 5 tools as playable, with particular shine on his feel for contact and base running. From the data side, Alvarez is already turning heads. His Vanguard score is 3.53, gold tier, labeled promising prospect. That comes with a WRC plus of 134, meaning he's 34% better than the league average right now. He walks in 14% of plate appearances and strike out just 18.2%, giving him a superb BBK ratio of 0.77, while his raw power metrics, an ISO of 0.087 and a 4.7% home run to fly ball rate suggest room to grow. He's already slugging .436 and batting .349. At just 18, Alvarez is the kind of high-upside, multi-tool athlete who could shine even brighter as he physically matures and takes his game to the next level. Jesus Matic is one of the younger names to watch in the lower minors, and he's making his mark early. At just 18 years old, the shortstop has already seen time in both single A and high A, albeit just 19 plate appearances at the latter level. His game is built on advanced baseball IQ and steady defense up the middle. With smooth hands and good footwork, that should help keep him at shortstop long term. At the plate, Matic brings a contact-oriented approach, showing he can handle pro pitching while sprinkling in just enough gap power to hint at future growth. His ability to hold his own against older competition is the biggest green flag for his development curve. From a numbers standpoint, Matic's performance lines up with what scouts are seeing. He's posting a WRC plus of 123 and striking out just 20.9% of the time, right in line with the league norm. His 13.9% walk rate and 0.66 BBK ratio are outstanding for his age, showing advanced plate discipline. The 265 average and 395 slugging give him a balanced offensive foundation, even if his ISO of 130 and modest 6.8% home run to fly ball rate show that over-the-fence power is still developing. All told, that translates to a 3.49 Vanguard score, squarely in the gold tier tier, marking him as a promising young prospect with a strong two-way profile. Jonathon Long is a name Cubs fans likely know well. At 23 years old, he's showing the kind of offensive polish that makes scouts and models take notice. He's a right-handed hitter with a clean swing and mature approach at the plate, and he's been producing consistently this season. What sets Long apart isn't just raw tools, it's how well he executes. He doesn't chase much, handles fastballs with authority, and he sprays the ball with gap power. You won't see him on every top 100 prospect list yet, but he's on the next tier radar. Think of him as a bat-first corner infielder with a chance to rise quickly if the production holds. The numbers back it all up. His WRC plus is 132. That's 32% better than the league average, and it's not empty production. He's slugging .497 with an ISO of 186, showing real extra base juice. His strikeout rate is 20.4%, better than league average, and he walks an impressive 11.5% clip. Even better, his BBK ratio is 0.58, a sign of a disciplined hitter who controls the zone. Add in a .311 average and a 17.8% home run to fly ball rate, and it's clear why he earned a 3.49 Vanguard score, firmly in the gold tier. That score signals he's not just productive, he's doing it in ways that correlate with future value. So when might we see him in Chicago? Given that he's holding his own at AAA and the Cubs are pushing for a playoff spot, the answer might come down to roster fit. First base is not a glaring weakness for them right now, but if injuries hit or the lineup starts struggling for consistent right-handed power, Long could be a late season reinforcement, especially in September when rosters expand. His bat-first profile means he could slide into a pinch hit role or DH spot without much adjustment. And if his current production carries deep into the summer, the front office might see him as an internal spark. Personally, I'm buying right now. Vanguard system just ran Rafael Flores through the model, and the results put him on the map. Recently traded to Pittsburgh, I'll compare Flores with Henry Davis, who is his main competition in a call-up situation. While former #1 overall pick Henry Davis continues to underwhelm with an inflated strikeout rate and stagnant offensive profile, Flores is quietly building real momentum. His bat speed, plate approach, and power metrics are all flashing above league average, and crucially, they are trending upward. That's exactly the kind of pattern Vanguard looks for. Not just raw skill, but signals of value climbing before the card market catches up. Where Davis is still trying to prove his worth as a former #1 overall pick, Flores is producing. The Vanguard score, 3.49. Gold tier. So why does Flores pop in the model? First, that .311 batting average is no fluke. His strikeout rate is 20.4% below the league average, and his walk rate is an impressive 11.5%. Plate discipline like that, coupled with good power, is desirable in the Vanguard model. His .497 slugging, backed by a 186 ISO, shows legit gap-to-gap power, and the home run to fly ball rate at 17.8 is decent, but hints at room to grow in the home run department. Even more impressive, his BBK ratio sits at 0.58, nearly 50% better than the league norms. He's also not just padding numbers. Flores plays a premium position that gives another boost in our model, which adds hidden hobby upside. All this rolled together makes him a gold, promising prospect in Vanguard's system, and someone we'll be watching very closely. I'm personally investing in this player right now. Sean Keyes might not be a household name yet, but within the Blue Jays system, he's quickly building a reputation as one of their more disciplined young hitters. Drafted out of college in 2024, Keyes has carried his patient, contact-focused approach into pro ball. At 22 years old, he's holding his own against advanced pitching, showing the ability to work counts, draw walks, and put the ball in play with intent. While his batting average sits at .216, the underlying skill set, a line drive, stroke, and the ability to adjust mid-at-bat gives him the foundation for growth. He's currently manning third base, and his steady glove work keeps his defensive value intact as the bat develops. But the real story comes when you dig into the metrics. According to Vanguard, Keyes earns a 3.32 Vanguard score, placing him firmly in the gold, promising prospect tier. That score is driven by a well above average walk rate of 16% and a stellar 0.79 BBK ratio, nearly double the league average, a hallmark of a hitter who controls the zone. His WRC plus sits at 111, meaning he's producing 11% better than league average despite the modest modest batting average. The 158 ISO and 11.8 home run to fly ball rate show he's got gap-to-gap pop with occasional home run power, and his 20.2% strikeout rate is comfortably below the league norm. Add in his positional value at third base, and Key's profile screams plate discipline specialist with sneaky power upside, the kind of player who can force his way up the system with a hot stretch. Kyle Debarge is quietly carving out a name for himself within the Minnesota Twins organization. At 21 years old, he's an infielder known for his solid contact skills and advanced approach at the plate. While not a traditional power hitter yet, Debarge is steadily growing into improved power as he matures. His game centers on making consistent contact, working counts, and putting pressure on defenses. His smooth swing and disciplined eye have helped him maintain a respectable batting average and on-base skills through the minors, with defensive versatility adding further value. The numbers back up what scouts see. Debarge carries a WRC plus of 114, showing consistent offensive production. His 14.5% walk rate and strong 0.75 BBK ratio highlights his excellent plate discipline. His ISO of 128 and 6.1% home run to fly ball rate suggests modest but improving power, fitting for a young player still developing physically. His 248 average and 376 slugging percentage round out a solid all-around profile. These metrics earn him a 3.29 Vanguard score, placing him in the gold promising prospect tier, a disciplined hitter with growing power and the potential for a major league opportunity. So there you have it, the top 15 Vanguard player rankings. If you want to see more videos like this, drop a comment, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're ready for what's next. Why prospect without Vanguard, your essential prospecting tool? If you're looking specifically for first Bowman cards, visit my Dripzone Collectibles eBay store linked in the description below. It's all I list, and I do try to curate my selection where possible with Vanguard approved prospects. It's your go-to source for exclusive first Bowman finds and great deals. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.